All right, Joe, I have a question for you. It's a tricky question. Do you like sliders?
I love sliders, they're delicious.
Not those. I mean, this equipment that we're using right now, the slider.
Oh yeah, I love those as well.
So why don't you explain what the slider is?
Well, a slider is usually a system of rails that you can put a camera on that allows the camera to slide left or right or forwards and backwards.
Okay, well, we're using right now an electronic slider, the Rhino R2, for the interview. So why don't you tell us a little bit about when would you use a slider, what kind of things would you do to make it, look right?
Sure, you can use a slider for multiple kinds of situations. For an interview, you could use it for B-roll. You could also use it in a more filmed setting. It can make things look a lot more cinematic because you have this nice smooth motion that can kind of break the monotony if you have a lot of still shots or shots that don't have that kind of movement to it.
Okay, how about a review shot? What is that?
So a reveal shot is where you have, basically you think about it as background, foreground, midground. You have your camera, then in front of that is an object or a wall, and then behind the object or the wall is your subject. And by having that object in the midground, it makes the movement of the camera much more apparent.
Right, in this case, we have this table with the lenses, these elements, and so you can tell, a lot more that everything's moving, with the slider. Anything else about the slider?
There's all sorts of options out there. There's electronic, like what we're using right now. There's manual sliders where basically the person is just manually operating it, and you can get different lengths of rails, but either way, just make sure you plan your shots well and make sure you've set aside the time to be able to set up and break down the slider, because it takes a little more time than just pulling out the camera and walking around. So just keep that in mind.
That's true. And to me, it's just the overall look and feel. I think, when you incorporate that, you just increase your production value.